So I didn't have time to make a video last week. I was finishing up this enclosure and getting everything ready for these two. I got these on Wednesday last week. That's a female black tree monitor there, and the male's over here, keeping an eye on me where it's safe. This is it's a 4x3x4 enclosure. I'm keeping them in here for quarantine for right now. But what I'm going to do, I'm building a second one of these that's going to go next to this one. I'm going to have a tube that connects the two of them so that they can pass through. And that way I can separate them whenever she goes to lay. Female tree monitors a lot of times will attack the male after they lay eggs if they find the male in their enclosure. They get really defensive. So I want to separate them. I want to be able to easily separate them whenever the time comes. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, this whole thing's PVC, and then the door frame is wood that I just painted a few good coats of water-based paint. I used a window lock for the latch, and it seems to be working pretty well. We'll see how it holds up over time. And I got a whole bunch of pieces of maple tree. I just cut down a few small to medium sized maple trees and use the whole thing in here so they have good hardwood that won't rot. And then it's a lot of grapevines strung around that I cleaned, and then a couple pieces of oak. I have a sawmill down the road, so I can get these bark slabs that they shave off of the wood, and I try to only use oak. And I made a bunch of hides out of it. There's one right there, and I cut that notch in so I can see in to see if one of them's hiding in it, just so I can keep track of them. There's one there, there's one up top that he knocked the bark off of. He sleeps in that, and then she sleeps in that cork tube back there. I haven't seen either one of them use this cork tube in the middle. Neither one's been in the dig box that I set here, and every once in a while he'll sleep in this hide. It just depends what he feels like for the day. I also found him down here on the floor sleeping in the dirt one night. It was probably the worst place he could pick to sleep. It's pretty cool down there. So and then I 3D printed a couple of these deli cup hangers right there to give them water. I hung one there, and then one back there, and just a couple of fake plants. I want to get some more plants in here soon, but I'm working on so much, trying to get a ton of stuff done before I get back to work. So I'll probably get to that stuff in the near future. And then for lighting, I have one 36 watt LED grow light right in the middle just for lighting and to help the plants whenever I eventually get them in. I have a deep heat projector in the back. That actually heats that big limb that's back there, and then that limb radiates heat the whole way across the back of the enclosure at night, and it keeps it in the upper 70s. On the top half, it works surprisingly well, and that's only a 50 watt deep heat projector, and I think I have it on a dimmer switch, and I think I'm only running it at about 70%. And I have a 3-foot Pangea T5 fixture with I think it's an 8% Arcadia bulb, and then I have two halogens for basking in the back on a screen portion. Sorry, this glass is gross. I don't want to clean it, it'll annoy them. Those are two 50 watt bulbs on a dimmer back there, so everything's adjustable, and it's shining through a screen portion so that they can't get to it. And then while I'm here, I ran a couple of these little fans to draw some of the heat out because it got a little hot up top. And then for all the electronics, I have a smart surge protector back here. That's what the fans are hooked into, and I'm gonna probably put the UVB on it. I had a couple of these smart plugs left, so I just used one on this. But I won't be using any of the smart plugs anymore. I'm just gonna buy these smart surge protectors. So it's actually cheaper. I can get away using a lot less electronics using one of those. So that's what I'm shooting for. Actually, on this one here, I can show it. This is how everything's going to be done from now on. Instead of using multiple surge protectors, I'll just use this one smart surge, and I'll have the whole enclosure plugged into that, and then that plugged into the wall, and I actually won't even need this LED switch that's over here. I can just wire it straight in, because you can program each one of the sockets in this to turn on and off whenever you want. So that's probably what I'll do in the future. This is going to be the second enclosure that's going to go next to them. I'm trying to hurry up and get it done this week before I go back to work. But yeah, you can see the lighting set up. It's the exact same in here. I'm just waiting on a second bulb, and then I'll have it set up. And the walls are lined with cork underlayment. It's flooring underlayment. I'm curious to see how that holds up. I thought that'd make a nice, inexpensive thing to put on the wall so that they can climb the walls pretty much anywhere they want. But we'll see how it holds up. So yeah, if you have any input, any suggestions, any thoughts here, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always looking for ways to improve everything. My interior decorating skills aren't exactly the best. That's why I end up with stuff like this. It's a bunch of sticks and things put together. It functions, but it's not the prettiest thing in the world. So, but yeah, if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know.